people, my soil stewards. This is Dr. Eve. Hope all is well. It is a beautiful day to be alive. And I say that with all sincerity. And here's why. For many of you know that my brother had been sick for a while. And um, we were, you know, standing on standing on what God said and His will. And His will, my brother passed away on last night. I am in at peace completely uh, with that because um, my brother and I relationship was completely restored, and I'm so excited that his life. He lived his life by a standard. Like he just lived beautifully in his calling, and just to watch God do all the things in his life and to restore him and to make his life look like the past never even happened was the beautiful thing that we all hope that will happen in our lives. And so I welcome you to my garden. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Eve, and here on my channel we do all things well-being as we help our citizens, our soil stewards here, to build a strong home economy from the soil up, from the soil to the bank. Okay, so I am here today. I'm actually going to show you a little back end, of what it's like in the garden and some things that I'm doing today. Today I am I'm going to be overwintering my citrus trees so that they can thrive during the winter months. That's so important. I have actually a couple of citrus trees that are doing very, very well. And my lime tree is the one that we're going to transplant into a bigger pot. When you buy your plants, from what I've experienced, and I have been growing them since probably the last 4 years, but I bought quite a few that aren't yielding right now. But I have one that is in full bloom, and it is producing limes. I'll show you that when we get ready to transplant this plant. So we're going to be taking some steps. One of the things that you want, some tools that you will need to transplant your citrus trees for overwintering is first of all, a larger pot. So I bought a larger pot, not something that I can't move because I want to be able to move it around, give it enough room to continue to grow. So, I bought one of these about this size quart. I don't know whether what that size is actually. Let me see. It does not say. But it looks like maybe a quart size container. So I brought something that tripled that, right? So that I can give my citrus tree enough room to grow and to thrive and to continue to thrive. So I bought a pot, and this is the pot that I purchased, right? And you also want to make sure that your pot is food friendly, because some of the plastic pots are not. I got this one from Lowe's, and I also, you want to make sure that it has drainage. So a lot of times when we buy the pots, we don't look to see if they have the proper drainage. And for me, I use a heated mechanism to make sure that I have proper holes in my pots. Not too many because I don't want to drain all my water out, but I don't want it to have root rot either. So I bought this pot, I put the holes in it, and the next thing we want to do is make sure that we have some soil. Now here on the homestead, literally, I have so much soil, so many pots, there are things that thrive, things that didn't. And so I like to reuse my soil as long as it is not infested with, something that's going to bring harm to the transplant. So I typically will put some peroxide in that soil if I'm reusing soil. I will particularly put some peroxide in there to kill any gnats or things like that that may, give my transplant a bad start. So, but here in this pan, we are utilizing some soil that I bought from the not, yeah, Dollar General, was it Dollar General? Or Family Dollar. They had a sale on some soil. But I usually, it's potting soil with let me see what percent. It has fertilizer in it, so it's professional potting mix, and it will release fertilizer for 4 months. And I'll show you all of these when I get up to show you what we're doing. So, but I utilize some additional amendments to my soil, to make sure that, number one, when you're planting in a pot, you want to make sure that you're giving your potted plants a little something extra to aerate, which means to keep the soil from compacting, and you also want to give it something to absorb, to retain the moisture, because potted plants will get dried out if you don't give it something. And two of the things that I use is perlite for aeration to keep it from compacting, and two, vermiculite, which I also use to keep moisture to the soil, right? And so we're going to get started. So I've already put some soil, dumped some soil in there. I have some soil from a bag that I used yesterday, because every time I think about my brother, I plant another pot. He left instructions for me to go tell it on the mountain, and that's what I am going to follow, the directives that the Lord, the message that was on his heart that he gave to me. And I'm going to continue trying to make a difference in the life of someone else, as my brother would have me to, and as God has also called me and assigned me to do in this earth in his way, through my assignment. And part of that is showing people how to grow food, showing people how to, eat God's food, right, for healthier, because he gave us every seed bearing thing as meat to eat, right? And many don't know how to grow food. And so if it's my beginnings help someone else, then that is my assignment in the earth as a good steward over the earth that God has, you know, um, so graciously given me to be able to grow food and share with my community, share plants with my community, share how to's with my community, and all of the things. So, welcome behind the scenes with me, and we're going to get started on repotting this citrus plant. So, welcome to the garden, everyone. All right, so what I have here, this is number one. I want to show you, number one, I want to show you the size pot that I purchased. We are going to be repotting this plant, and this plant has limes already growing. So they are very, very comfortable and secure, it seems. And so I'm going to go ahead and just repot this in hopes that we don't lose any. Can you see this quart size? Well, we're going to triple the size, triple the size of the potting space so that it can continue to grow. So that's what we're going to be doing. And this is one of my citrus trees. This is I'll tell you what it is. This is the actually it says Meyer lemon. So either it's a lemon or a lime. All I know is right now it's green. Okay. So let me just lift you all up just a little bit so I don't have to squat so much. And we will talk about the process. Okay. And how if you have a lime tree or desiring to transplant citrus, you can grow citrus at home. So I'm going to back up just a little bit. So again, I have some soil that I've already pre-prepared. This is a Bayer lemon, even though it looks like limes. This is the pot that we're going to be transplanting into. And I'm going to show you about this soil that I'm going to be. And the first thing you want to do is go ahead and break down the soil. If you have some soil that you're reusing, so, that's been amended, and that's a good thing. You know, use soil that you have already because it's already been gifted the things that you need in the soil, right? So I want to break this all down, make sure there's no foreign objects in there, and get my soil, turn it a little bit, right? I want to turn it, get it transplant ready. Now, I did share with you that I'm going to be using perlite. So I'm going to I buy my perlite by the wholesale, by the big bag. So I'm going to dump some in there. And then I have vermiculite, which we just talked about, which I use for right here to maintain the moisture. So now you want to be careful though too about the perlite and breathing the perlite because it has a powdery substance that raises up into the air and can get into the lungs. So if you have lung issues, you want to probably mask up to make sure that you're not getting anything or compromising your lungs. And so then I'm going to toss this around, and I usually try to put in my my soil some sort of extra, there's a tag, let me get that out of there, some sort of extra fertilizer. And right now what I have is my fertilizer from my chicken coop, which has been around since last year, right? So I will usually put some of that in there, but since this is citrus, I'm not going to. Well, actually, it's probably the best thing to put into the chicken feed, not chicken feed, but the chicken matter. It's probably the best fertilizer for a citrus tree because it's very acidic, right? It's very acidic and can burn the plants. But because I am doing this as a transplant, what I'm going to do is not put anything else in the soil that is not already in there because I want to give it a chance to thrive before I start putting more fertilizer in there, right? So we're going to leave it be. We're going to give it this soil that's already just some amended soil. And then we're going to, I don't know what that is, but it looks like it's trying to look like a mite. The spider mites are really bad over here. And yeah, so you got to be mindful not to let them exist, all right? So I'm going to take this soil and begin at the root, at the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and start, I don't know if you can see that, start filling this pot, right? We're going to start filling this pot. And then what we're going to do, as we get closer to the top, because we want this pot to have a lot of room to grow, this a lot of room to grow, we're going to want to make sure that the root ball is at least an inch above the soil, right? That's just the way I do it, an inch above the soil. And so we're going to take the pot and we're going to see how it fits in here, right? So that would put the root ball at an inch above. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the soil around this pot so that we can build a space for the pot, right? We want to build around the pot. So, I don't know what that is. Oh, that looks like an avocado root. Y'all don't be surprised if an avocado don't come. That's probably going to be some good fertilizer. So I'm going to move this around and build out this pot. Build it out all around. Let me just set this pot up here on this stick so I can see it. It's hard to see down here. Okay. Now, so we're going to build out the soil around this pot because we're going to transplant it into the space with the least amount of resistance as possible, because I don't want to do anything to harm my current fruit, right? Because we have fruit already, and we want to make sure that we're not breaking off the tree. That's too much, so I'm going to put it in a little bit at a time and build this out. And that took a lot of soil. That pot took a lot of soil. So again, so we want to make sure that we are making space, nice space for our transplant. All right, so now we have this neatly formed pot full of soil, and we're going to now prepare to get it out of this pot, right? We're going to get it out of this pot, and we're going to do that by lifting the pot, lifting the tree out of the soil. Now, another thing you could do that would create less tension, which I find very helpful also, is just cutting the bottom out of the pot. So that way the plant just grows into the soil, right? But in this case, we're going to take out the form. We've made a nice spot for it. So we're going to take the pot out. And then we are going to place this plant into the space that we have created, which is nicely and neatly formed, and we don't have to, it won't affect the soil. It's neatly in there, and y'all, that's got to be the best transplant I have done. Like, that is so, I learned this on another YouTube channel, and I was trying it for the first time today, and I'm telling you, it has to be the easiest transplant that I have done. And so, find what works for you. That's what I say. I'm going to move this bucket so I can talk to you a little bit more. So, as you can see, My Meyer, my chickens are making so much noise. As you can see, my Meyer lemon has been neatly transplanted into its new space. We're going to give it a good watering, and as you can see, the lines have not been affected. Let's look around. We have four, what I thought were lines. They said are lemons, actually. They're just green, I guess. I guess we have to wait till we got two here. We have one here, and we have two on the other side. And hopefully, we are going to get a lot more with the new growth, with the new planting system, with the new pot, right? And so I'm going to be putting my Meyer lemons closer to the house now, right? Because I have a huge yard, and we're occupying and moving them closer to the house because we are overwintering them. We are not in a zone. We're not in a zone where citrus trees will survive outdoors no matter how hard we try. But actually, I think I've broken that rule. I've broken that rule with my mandarin orange, which I thought was frostbitten last year, and it is growing. It is really growing, and I'm just gonna take a second and take you off of this tripod just to show you, right? Um, yeah, I can't turn this around. So I'm going to take you off the tripod so I can show you. And this is all of the stuff that we're doing and have been doing in trying to, let me see if I can turn this camera around. All right, so this is what it's looking like. We've got 5, 6 of these to do. And that was the example of the one that I wanted to do. And so you can get pots with roller wheels, or you can get even bigger pots. The problem is I cannot move a really, really, really big pot. I'm thinking about my own mobility in this time. And so I know that I cannot move a really big pot. So I'm keeping it simple and something that I can actually move. I think that's a good space. And we have one, two, three. Wait a minute. One, two, three, four. And I have two in the back that I'm going to bring up. And that will be six citrus trees that are going to be outdoors. Now, I might try one of these, and I'm going to show you the mandarin orange right now that survived the winter last year. I'm going to probably mulch it down really good and put a bag over it because that's the mandarin orange. It survived. It literally survived. So we thought that we couldn't do, citrus trees, but this pumpkin mandarin orange has survived, and it's beautiful. It's getting a lot of new growth. It may even, I don't know what it's going to do this year, but it's getting a ton of new growth. And citrus trees really do well around this time of year. This is when they start to really, really grow and thrive. But as you can see, you can see the branch where that was burned. But these are growing from all around the bottom, which did not get burned. So there was more life. There was so much more life in the citrus that it survived. So I am going to be putting in um, some mulch around it, or some of this, wood chips around it to see if we can save it. So I'm thinking about putting a couple more citrus trees right here just to see. Just to see what I can do, or at least there's probably space for one more, right? And then whatever can go underneath it. I could put it on the side where the um, where my squash plant was that did so well because this soil is very, very rich. And so that's where we are, y'all. I just wanted to come and share the moment with you of transplanting my first transplant. Uh, they say it's a lemon, and I'm just gonna believe them. And so, what are you all doing? I would love to know what you all are doing and how you all are overwinterizing your plants. Because and I would love to know, are you planting a fall garden? Because um, you can grow 365 days out of the year. And that's what we do here at La Geneve. Homestead and Estates Apothecary, call it what you want, homestead. We call it mini homestead retreat space. We call it a lot of things because it is all of those things for us, okay? It is all of those things for us, and we're very, very excited. So, if you haven't if you're just coming in, make sure you check it out. Check out the transplant because we just transplanted a Meyer lemon into a bigger pot, and it was the easiest transplant I have done. And so the method actually works if you work it. So check those things out. And while you're here, I just want to show y'all what I'm doing with these Dollar Tree. Uh, Look at that. Y'all see them beans? We got beans, we got greens, we've got baby bok choy, we've got herbs, we got a lot of stuff growing right here on the patio. Those are some of our starts right there. Um, these are some things that are happening that we are working on, just working on also beautifying our place so that our homestead and retreat space is welcoming, and so exciting. So we will probably do a full homestead tour at some point. We won't be doing that today. I just came to really do the transplant and to share with my soil friends what's happening and what's happening with my brother. So I love you all, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Go and have the most amazing day. And whatever you do, don't let anyone get in the way on your journey to becoming who God has called you to become in this season. Be blessed. Bye for now.